Shunchu Sanchu Rinpoche, Maishi Panam, Shijurji, Shiba Nyamba, Meba, Impera, Shos, Maya. This is the way of our path. When we start, and we need good attitude, which is compassion attitude, kindness attitude, to concerning all the sentient beings. And also through our education of the Dharma, we understood all the sentient beings, same as we are. And physically, mentally, and verbally, emotionally, everything. And like way of the thinkings, also same we are. We all the times have strong wish to have happiness. And also we are concerning how to avoid any kind of unpleasant things. And therefore, also when we are really to concern, to be honest, to be really truth, to impartially concerning to all the other sentient beings, the same as we are. For example, we are like received some comfortable happiness, how much we are happy. And when we received small unpleasant, like some negative, some circumstances, maybe small, like even the one insect or the mosquitoes to bite to our says, oh ouch, I'm pain and I want to quickly get rid of. And this kind of the sensitivities, the mind, and everybody's mind, whoever like to have the mind, they concerning happy and sorrow same as we are. And therefore we need to think about the sentient beings. That is the very important, because in the path of the Buddha, it is really is the path of the compassion, kindness, and to sympathetic to other sentient beings. As a beginning is like this, middle is like this, the end also like this. Beginning, what is like this? Because beginning we concerning to think most times other sentient beings. And then is our path, is the beginning, is become the correct, good, beneficial. And also in the middle, when we apply this path, and then these paths can purify all the negative circumstances and to install, collect or accumulate, or like candle stole, or in the room of the mind, more and more happy and happy. And this is not kind of exaggeration, this is not religious kind of the conversation, and that is the realities. Because in this world, when we are searching for the cause of happiness, which is the best cause of the happiness, that is the compassion, kindness. And of course, there are different cause of the happiness, but principle, most precious, important cause of happiness is compassion and kindness. Therefore, we need it. And also, it's like in the conclusion, when we are continue follow this compassion path, then once our mind is the fully is a compassion mind. And when we are talking about awakened mind, the awakened mind of the compassion, And mind is like completed. In the mind, there is the full of the aspect of the compassions. That is the awakened mind. We are ourselves is free from any sufferings. And also we become the source of the happiness other sentient beings. Whoever to see us, whoever hearing us, whoever touch to us, we are become the source of the liberation, liberator or liberation, and we are like kind of the source of the benefit for the others. And therefore we need a good attitude and a compassion attitude. That means to say, I'm going to study about this book, the word of my perfect teacher. And also there is one is the purpose. I want to understand my own reality. What is the reality? In the reality of the like now. And we are living in this relative reality, but reality we don't know where it is, who we are, how it is, where am I come from, and how it is my body structure, how it is my verb, how it is my mind, who am I? I'm called my name is the John, but I'm not John. John is not me. And like this, it's a very much kind of confused. But of course, ordinary is life to way. You don't need to concern that. How I can to get delicious food, how I can to get nice cappuccino, how I can to earn, how I can to create family, how I can to make something to business. Okay, that is like a general life. And you don't need to concern is the relative reality. But in the relative realities, relatives sometimes to demonstrate to us a very strange way. And for example, one person, it's also I have this experience, but one person told me, he's very much like kind of hungry to become the rich and successful. And he work, help to the families. He create a few house, and very huge house and big. And then it's slowly, and finally first he create this house. It's a very complicated way, years. And finally he succeeded, and he's very happy. Then family stayed there, and he thought he's forever to sit there. After a few month, years, he changed. He couldn't stay there, and he is left from this house. And then maybe 10 years after, he go back to see, and his house, nobody's there. His family, nobody doesn't want to there. They all have own creation. And then he looked at this house, empty completely. And also the families need to someone to stay there to look after the house. And then he said, what it is my life? And then he says, now maybe I'm 60, 70 years old. It's a look back to calculation of the life. It's what I did, what I done. It's really very, very strange. Now certainly I might died. What can I need to do? And it's like life is spent kind of very strange way. Now I understood in the relative reality, I need to hurry up to practice Dharma and to develop, really to generate or develop my mind. It's a little too late kind of. It's like this, it's a normal life, and we first time we born, and then we go to school, and then we graduated, and then thinking about the life to create. Of course, first when we create families, wonderful. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, then start and kind of the problem, complications occurring. And then is of course older age, families, children's, and grow up, and then more and more. And then it's like age is some in the certain perspective is coming. And then it's all the element. It's the same as yesterday talking about the cosmologies. It's our own body, individual cosmologies, it's slowly collapses. Limbs is more pain, doesn't function, and the inner organs it doesn't like kind of function. And then it's maybe our expectation is want to become more healthy, more young, but impossible. This is reality. Then it's like look at our in the relative realities, like really looks like a dream, a rainbow, hallucination. It is truth. It's like this, and then it's slowly, it's a kind of the going out the human existence, and we can to look the some in our like old age. When the couples are they together, it is wonderful. They can to watch television together, reading news together, doing together, argue together, fighting together, hug. It's okay. But someone's separated, someone's lost a partner. Children's maybe monthly, yearly they're coming to see, but many like some is my age or some is old. They are lonely. And there's like just every day talking themselves. The best they have pets is some animals. Then it's when we look at the life, it's very like a dream. It's absolutely it's a hallucination, and then it's slowly fade away, disappearing, and we don't know next life we have or not. And someone's is like, for example, our Western culture or the religious perspective, we have two destinations, go heaven or hell. If we go to heaven, it's okay, no problem. Maybe God take care to us. Maybe not, we are going to hell. It's very horrible, forever there's not very fantastic. And we don't believe that any at all. It's like a kind of atheist. Okay, I don't believe any religious. Okay, but then what do you concern in this life? Do you believe the next life? No, just like kind of finish it. Sometimes I talk to, in neurologism, some science, neurologism, they're difficult to recognize the mind. They just think brain, electricity. Then it's like kind of the human beings like a rubber. Rubber is there is in Japan. You go to some shops. There's one machine. Go to there. Hello to the. Hello. Yes. What's your name? My name's like this. Then it looks like this. Would you like to coffee? Yes, cappuccino. And then it's more. It's scaring things. Sometimes they're like more and more old. I met one or two this kind of. Says it's like they become same in the certain ages. They say it's like amazing, terrifying. The mind is hanging in the sky. There's no hope. There's no refuge. There's nothing. And just reading news and every day and watching, talking politicals and to something is okay. That kind of because it's of course, it's if that moment they can do more to follow the pleasure, entertainment, but some in the age is really truth. It's interest lost. Don't want to go to holiday. Don't want to like to do something pleasure things. It's losing, and then it's like a kind of the hopeless. There's a kind of the what can I need to? What can I do? Okay, reading menus. And this kind of situations, we look at our life, human existence, human life, it is a relative truth, but what can we need to do? Now it is the time to study a little bit relative reality. That is the very, very, very important. And for example, in the first chapter, we studied the human existence. And each moment, I am human, even we be alone. Maybe it's like different situations. At least I'm a human being. I can to do something. Today I'm unhappy. Okay, what can I do? I'm not an animal. I'm not any like stupid things. I'm human beings. Maybe I can to therapist. I can to myself to little bit to support, talk to friend, maybe go to in the bar, go to in the some cinema, go to in the swimming pool, go to park, and maybe I can to traveling a little. Which kind of to say, I'm a human being, a wonderful word. When we look at in this word, if you not analyze with just an ordinary way, this is existence. Look, in the summer is coming, flowers. This is existence of the word. Why not? I can go to the reading, some history, watch, different. Something we can to support and to make a little bit happy and to discover this great opportunity. And also it's like a human existence. Of course, it's like certainly some sick and certainly ages. Certainly it's like dissolution is a start. At that moment, I'm a human existence. I recognize it's too late. That moment, maybe it's body's pain, and the pain is very strong. At that moment, I need to make happiness a little bit too light. Right now, to recognize the human existence, we are physically quite well. And of course, different age, but doesn't matter. And to recognize this human existence, also it's like we need to recognize our own potential qualities, human qualities, mind qualities. And that recognizes something a little bit kind of to support it to us and to recognize the achievement. And then this achievement is not forever. Now is the second chapter, talking about the impermanence. It is obvious, it is a relative realities. Everything is living in the momentary nature. And any kind you believe or not believe, you accept or not accept, you Buddhist or not Buddhist, or the Christian, no, it's everybody is living in the momentary nature, transitory nature. Each moment there is a changing positive. Impermanent is the reality of the relative truth. And then is a need to concern. And that is the very important. And this is chapter, there is like a 7 aspect of meditation on the impermanence, on the impermanent. What we need to meditate on it, why we need to concern it, because our mind is a very kind of strange. If you give education to our mind can to learn, mind can to accept, mind can open, mind can become tolerant, mind can become very intelligent, most intelligent, mind can become awakened. Its mind become the Buddha. And if you don't give educations, and then it's like mind don't understand. And like kind of the mind sometimes understanding wrong way. Like for example, at the moment, most like as myself, I'm thinking it's like I'm forever. I'm like deathless. I want to living forever on this world. I don't think about I'm impermanent. I'm not thinking about impermanent of my belonging, relative, country, everything. Looks, mind is concerning, everything looks like existence, permanent. And then it's like, certainly it's changing processes to see that sometimes we people say, I don't understand why this kind of happened. Someone is certainly sick, I don't understand, I'm sick. Certainly someone says, now you are going to die, then I don't understand. Someone says, surely cannot to die. I don't want to die. Want or not want, this is just the relative realities. I'm often to say, I have one relative in Switzerland saying, this person say, I don't want to reborn again, next life. Oh, wonderful. It's like your decision is wonderful. That is fantastic. Even it's like if you have this method, if you have, could you give me? Also, I don't want to reborn again. And this person says, I decided. You decided. You decided, maybe this is just you decide, but it cannot happen like this. I say this, today is a wonderful day. fantastic, the weather's nice, food is nice, I'm be with you. It's really paradise. I decided I don't want to go to tomorrow. And this person's laughing. How you can to stop? Exactly. Can you start to reborn again? And it's exactly the same. There's a kind of the automatically is a coming continue there is. It is something is like changing process and like kind of the go on and on. It's like this is it's very difficult to stop. It's like cannot to decide it for ourselves. Like for example, as we can to say now, today is a wonderful day, fantastic weather, and this moment wonderful. I want to keep this impossible. There is like automatically the word wired clock or the watch is going on. Nobody cannot to stop that. And we think like this, and then it's also, of course, our life is going on. And one day it's like kind of evaporated, disappeared, 100%. And before that, we need to give a little bit education to our minds. Then mind is become more familiarities. Like a kind of example, when you create some company, something to family, or something to do in this world, first you say, I want to do that, but in the futures, if I do like this, maybe something is obstacle, something is coming cross. It's that I need to protect ourselves. For example, in our Westerns, sometimes we say we don't believe, but we believe very much insurance. We all the times take insurance. Why you need insurance? Because in the future something is happened, I need it. Exactly like this, if we prepare a little bit, and then it's something happened, okay, I have insurance, I have my best insurance in my mind, and something is occurring, it's no problem. It's helping me. It's supported to me like this. In the Buddhist perspective or the Buddha's paths, we give education our own mind. And of course, if we can to make the manifestation of our own potential Buddha nature, then it's the best insurance in the future for the soul. That is the best. But at least, it's like not that, but at least to a little bit give strength, power, educations. One is the impermanent arrived, how we can to control, how we can to accept that, how we can to realize it, the nature impermanent. Like therefore we are studying. And then first is like kind of we thinking the environments of the outer universal. And this one is like the scientific cosmology, how it is the beginning start, and then it's like how long it stay, and then how it's disappeared. In the Buddhist like Abhidhamma cosmology explanation is a little bit different. For example, this yesterday says it's our word in the universal, and of course at the beginning there's nothing existence, only space. And space. There is many different explanations. In the Buddha, he said, it's like a beginning space. And then in the certainly, there is a kind of the, I don't want to more detail, okay? But it's like, in the space is the inconceivable huge. We think it's like maybe our head just explode. It is like space, no up, no down, no four directions. Its space is amazing, large. You cannot say large or not large. It's unfathomable. It's unmeasurable. And then it's like for some space, there is like kind of the living beings, sentient beings, natural. Wherever space, there is the sentient beings. And then this, according to these sentient beings, yesterday says a collective of the sentient beings. Certainly, some may be drop of the water in the space is coming. And then this drop of the water is maybe slowly to heat, hot, and then it's like become the earth. Earth is fire, wind is already there. And then it's like kind of there's movement. Movement is like you can to say the galaxies and sometimes life force. In the Buddhist teachings, it's called the karmic wind. Sometimes it's called the wisdom wind. Sometimes it's like kind of the primordial wisdoms. It's this kind of turning round, and certainly mind is to wake up, like same as the element. It is like, for example, if sometimes we can to put in the glass air or something, you take out all the air, almost nothing there is. Maybe years you keep, there's no move, there's no be alive. A little bit air is go, and then routine and us animals, and then is this movement occurring and transforming and to changing processes occurring. Like this, then in this space there's a huge galaxies turning around. There is billions, trillions, and like universal is turning. For the compare that is like ourselves is like cannot to come, like really nano million nanosecond like particles is we are. But of course we think we are very big. Of course I have 80 kgs here, but compared to this when we look at the universe, it's nothing. But this kind of like in the solar system or the universal is then is. But of course, compared in the space, maybe some part there is in the space, this kind of galaxies are turning, trillions, countless universes turning around. And inside there is maybe our universe is a very small solar systems. Maybe some part, for example, compared to this mandalas, is maybe it's almost indivisible particles for our like universal, okay? Not only ourselves. Then it's like this kind of, then it's a turning. And then it's a coming water, earth, then it's ascension beings slowly it's just coming. And each element is like movements. Then there are like kind of our body is produced. Maybe scientifically you can to say the primary ooze. Primary ooze is like beginner, there's kind of some mushrooms. And heat, hot, heat, like kind of cold, heat is like produced or something. And then it's mind enter inside very easily. And then it's like producing different sentient beings. It's coming like this. And this is like maybe in the mixed scientific and the Buddhist philosophy. But in the Buddhist Abhidharma's cosmologies, first is like kind of the collective karma of the sentient beings. And the first start the universal from the bottom to coming up. And first like air, and then water, and then it's like earth, and then it's a fire something, and then it's mixtures coming. Then it's like the big kind of mountain, and then it's like a kind of the separation or the to make the clarify or the like making the distinctions. And there is like a 7 gold mountains and 7 circle lakes and different like big continent, small continent, and there are huge like this. Then the sun and the moon and start is like coming like this and start. And the beginning, maybe it's also in the Buddhist perspective, there is no sentient beings, but it's like sentient beings are falling to down there. And normally it's like levels, sentient beings. First level, second level, third level. Maybe first level is like same we have like a rough body, verb, mind. Second is like maybe body, but mind, verb is like more calm, very much relaxed. There's a 4 dhyana levels. Then third level in the upper more, it is like there's no physically, only mentally there is something there. And then we don't know, it's like the further, it's like in the space. And this, and then it's like coming down, like falling down, it's come, and sentient beings. And the top of there is like, we call the top of existence. In Tibet, we call the Nitsomas, it's a pure top of the existence, one place. And from that, and then it's like a kind of the feeling down, and then it's in this world, it's started the human existence. But this is in a very, very relative way. It's absolutely, maybe also is this three level is like coding our mind. Maybe beginning our mind is very calm. Also maybe there's nothing physically. And certainly, and become the more rough, there is a body, speech, mind, but very much calms it. For example, some in the text that says, beginning, it is like we haven't got much desire. And really, it's like, for example, when you create children, you create and like contact the humans, just look at the face, smiling, that is enough. That is the satisfied your desire attachment. And then it's slowly become the more disturbing emotions arise, more and more. And I mean, at that moment, almost you don't need the food, and you have such luminosity, like you can to fly in the sky, and you don't need the sun and the moon, and you have your own luminosities. And then his mind is become more and confusion, more dualistic. Mind is grow up, and then it's like slowly, then his body speech is like big, mind is become more contaminated, and then it's like a desire is more strong. You look, smile is not enough. Then you need to holding each other, and to touch is then is like kind of the to be the satisfied your desire attachment. And then it's rough. Now it's this days. Then you need to really to enjoy, to union, and to create. Then in the future, too much disturbing emotions. They sometimes desire, anger too strong. They are going to eat each other, and this kind of like happened. And like this kind of slowly rough mind is coming. Then it's appear in this world. And like this, that time is you can to say the first coming down, the age of like this. In the word of my perfect teacher, there's not much to say in this kind of how it is like a dissolution of the universals here. And first, like kind of the age is like really is a countless age we have. Then slowly down, short. Now it's the 100, our life is like this. And then more going down, and one day our life is the 10 years old. And like this morning we born, immediately want to marry it, immediately something is like kind of to work, it's very strange happened. And that time is like some another something kind of happened, and then it's like it's a positive, some development, environmental, human's mind, everybody's all going up. It's like like 80,000 years old can live. All going down is up, going down. It's like this. This kind of up, down, 18 times, and then it's going up, and our life is more longer. One day its life is maybe countless. Then going down until the 10 years old. Then going down, then start these dissolutions. You know, yesterday we talking about the 7 times the fires to making problems in our world. And then it's the first and second, third. It's like each 7 times, and fire making problems. Then it's waters came, and the waters make a big problems, and all again is become the universe. That is like kind of maybe if you want to check more, very much interest even the future in the Dharma, the Abhidhamma Kosha, the Abhidhamma Sutta is inside. For example, these dissolutions, like first this fire, second fire, third fire. Today is like kind of we're talking about I think is the 7th fire, yes? Page 5, yes? And when the 7th appears, 7th sun, and this sun is a many different perspective, okay? Yesterday we talking about maybe in the scientific perspective, they say is the ooze, the how to call the ozone, yes? Outside we have the protections. You call the ozone. Yes, this ozone sometimes now the science says like hole. Maybe this is quite very nice. It's coming the Buddha's teachings together. Maybe one day there's 7 holes, and that can to burn our universal like this. This 7th appears, mountain mirror itself will burn up together with the 4 continent, the 8 subcontinent, the 7 golden mountains, and the circle well of mountains at the worldly very rim. Everything is well forced into vast mass of the fires. And generally, it's like in our continent. For example, there is the huge mountain, okay? Huge mountain is like this mountain. It's a big like kind of 4 continent. In our this solar system is in the south side. South there is one in the particles is our universal. It is solar system. Then it's like north and south, eastern is a continent. There's a different continent. Then subcontinent, and then there is like the huge. Is he talking about the 7 golden mountains? And the cycle well of the mountain at there's like a kind of the 7 lakes, something like this. You know, it is like some is mountains, some is like earth, ground is like really gold. It is also the truth, because according that in the earth there are a lot of gold. And like this kind of this mountain, and like this, and then is this kind of one universal. In the 4, like you can to look this one a little bit similar to the Abhidhamma Sutta. The first, second, third levels, there is a different level, but we are not on the level. We are on this last in the round there's. We are in the south part, and in the maybe this eastern, western, and the south part in this side. And this side is like kind of in the ground, there is a lot of like kind of the blue stone. This blue stone and the seas is the reflect in the mountain. Our sky is the blue. Because of that, the sky is blue or white. There's no color, but our blue is sky because of that. And then is the western, this size continent. It is like a rubber, some red, and sky is red. And in the north side, it is like more like a green. I don't know, it's like a turquoise or something. It's the sky. Then is eastern is like water and crystals. Glass in the sky is like more white. Then is the top of there is this 4th level. There is like a kind of sun and the moon in this part there is. And then there's a kind of 6 realms. It's not really touched in the mountain, and like kind of in the space, in the cloud. It is like 6 desire realm God. There are the different, our like kind of the superiors. It is like a kind of worldly God and living like this. Then after there is maybe in the there is a round one. It's there is a 4 dhyanas level. It's, as I said, it's like a kind of the body, but it's more calm, more concentrated, more peace. And then top of there is 4 formless realms. There's no like really. But this one is like we call our universal. If you count like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1,000 is the first our universal. And then is used this 1,000, you count 1, 2, 3, 1,000, second cycle. And this one is you counting 1, 2, 3, 2, like 1,000 is the third cycle. This third cycle is the really our like kind of the biggest universal. This is the like kind of our pure land. This is almost imagine that. That one is maybe, sometimes the fires to make the kind of like 1, 2, 3, 7 fires and burn all everything. And then it's a waters came. And again, this water is to like all the dust, everything is finished. Because it's one is the 7 fires to burn all the cycle of that. And then it's like dust a lot, and smoke go up in the DN level or some in the space, huge cloud. And then it's raining is coming. And then again it's dust. All this rain is become the mixed water. All universe is coming. All against 5 is all against like this. This kind of 49 times fire. It's to destroy again, coming again. Then last like each 7 times 1 water is destroyed. Each 7 times 1 water. Then all together is like 7 times 8, 56. Yes, 7 times. The last water is so heavy, very heavy, and that times then it's like the how do you say it, in the under, like the holder of the air is coming up, and then it's completely disappeared. That moment is not only our universal, this big cycle, this first cycle, third cycle, second cycle, like a ring road, and this maybe is this kind of like our cycles is maybe trillions in the space. And last big one is like kind of the dissolution or the like evaporation or the disappearance. Maybe all this is disappeared. It's become the same as the space before. Then there is many karbas. It's no sentient movement. Again, is of course it's endless because there is coming again. Like when we thinking like this kind of huge continent, universe is also impermanent. My body is just nothing. Absolutely, I'm impermanent, and we need to concern in that. This kind of huge, large, how many inside there is beings living? All of them is finally like a kind of impermanent. As my body is compared, that is a very fragile, like water bubble, more foggy, more frozen. It's just something happened, disappeared. And in this perspective, I want to quickly to hurry up to do something. And like this, it says, as the blends downs, it will consume all the infernal realms. Like inside, it's like this, how do you say, the mountain burn going down. All the realms means it's like kind of everything is, whatever there is appearances of the realms, hell or hunger, ghosts, everything's kind of burning up. And then is the flame upward world, the Nigelf, the celestial palace of the Brahma, already long abandoned. And also it's like as I told you, it's like there's the top of the mountain Moro, there is like 6 desire realms, like God realms. There is like kind of also to burn, to the fires too strong. And then is the Brahmas almost like the top of that. There's some is like a kind of empty or something place to burn everything. And then is the above, the younger gods of the realm of the clear light will cry out in fear. What in immense conflagrations. It is like, it's amazing, look, in this kind of happens. And then is but the old God will resumes them, saying, have no fear, when it is reach the word of the Brahma, it will recede. This has happened before. According to that, it's quite, how do you say, it's something like this. Because it's like, one is like fire first fires, making prop second fire, like like a suns, we burning. Third, fourth, fifth to burn, the seventh burn everything. Fires coming up, and then is the water, and water to take to fire off, and all going down, and dust, water mixed, and then we'll start is coming up the universal. And then this is the Brahma and the old God, they says, don't worry. Many times this kind of happened like this. As I said, it's like fires like 7 suns to destroy the universe. It's 7 times. And coming fire, going back, it's like coming, going back, and this water. Then the last one is like really disappeared like this. This is like kind of, how do you say, how it is the cosmologies start, how it is the remain the cosmologies, and then finally how it is the dissolution, like disappeared is this cosmology. And huge this cosmologies is born, while stay, and diet. Like same as ourselves, my body is born, and while to see it, then I'm going to die because I'm impermanent. And this impermanent to really to concern it, then is we need to mind is to be the present moment, to be happy and to concern in some good things. And I'm impermanent, but it's my future is like according to today. I will go into tomorrow. This is definitively, there's no doubt, obviously. And be it tomorrow, I need to do something. And also this impermanent like situation occurring, and what I need to do that. If I'm realized it, and then it's not scaring them. Exactly the same when you go to the Disneyland. In Belgium, we haven't got much strong Disneyland. If you go to Japan, there's one Toyo Disneyland. If you go to their some machines, machines, they make it terrified to you. And you go to inside, they don't explain to you, and you don't know what's going on. Amazing. Someone's go and come back, blue mouth, they're like this. Because completely like kind of unconscious. It's so much terrifying. But you say, someone says, don't worry, you know, surely you never die. And this is just a kind of Disneyland, it's a fun. There's many different these things. Yes. Then you can to tell to yourself, I'm not going to die. I'm no need to afraid. It is just a fun. Then you go inside. It's something is happened. It's just a fun. I'm in the safely on the chair. It's okay. And something is coming. Is like, for example, certainly some animals in the darkness is certainly coming. It's like the mouth is coming close. It's an electricity. And also in your chair, there's a hole. And certainly same time is water is coming. Really, this looks like these animals. But you just know about that before. Then you don't need scared. Exactly like this. And also when we are going to strange Disneyland of the impermanent, that moment when we have education, we just watch. We just control very easily, relaxedly, wonderfully. That's we need to prepare a little bit. And also we need to drink coffee is very important. Okay, post 5-10 minutes.